Get it, Wedge. Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I don't have it.
It's the first time I heard that. I'm sorry.
Alright, so hello, I'm Jack Wedge, and this is my Ignite presentation. First of all, thank you all of you for being here. And with that, I'm going to move in this format that sort of starts off with like a life story and then goes into some of my classwork. So I was born in Columbia, and then I moved to Charleston when I was like 3, was here till I was 10, and then my family moved to Birmingham, Alabama when I was there till I was about 17. And then with a year and a half left in high school, we moved to Oklahoma, which is where both my parents and Dr. Nallen are from. And it wasn't the most fun experience moving at that age, but I think it taught me a lot about being adaptable in like a new environment. As I'm sure many of you know, I ran cross country and track. I did this since I was about 12 years old, and then I decided to keep going forward with it when I committed to run at the Division I level here at the college. And I ended up actually running all 4 years of my undergrad time here. And it was a modestly successful athletic career, but at the same time I was an English major. And that was a very neat experience. But with that, I thought I was going to be an English major, go to law school like my pops. But then fall of senior year was like, I don't know if this is really like the best plan for me. So I was kind of confused on what sort of direction to head in. Thankfully, however, one of my coaches, Chris Bailey, was an alum of CFC, and he's actually also an MPA alum, and he ran a 5th year athletically as an MPA student. He recommended I look at that as a similar route. And so after I spoke to Dr. Millison and applied, I was accepted into the program in the spring of 2022 and began it almost immediately after graduating that fall. And in my first semester, one class that was really intriguing to me was land use law with Professor Barheit. I know I worked on some projects with WJ on that actually, but I thought learning from Barheit was really cool, with him gleaning off his experiences in Baltimore and Charleston. The next semester, I took urban policy with Dr. Gordon, and in our semester-long assignment, I looked at Chicago's transit system, and it gave me a really interesting look into like working in local government, especially planning. Concurrently, that semester, I took H&R and financial management with Dr. Stewart and Dr. Bedard, and I thought this kind of gave me a lot more of like the sort of skills needed to be a manager and be just an efficient public administrator. So with that, my first year pretty much came to a close. It was a very eye-opening experience. At that point in time, I was really starting to lean towards a career in local government, which wasn't necessarily the plan a couple years prior. And coming into my second year, I was out of eligibility with the NCAA. So I had a lot of free time, but thankfully I applied for and received a position here as a graduate assistant. And I think this experience has been really cool, working under Marla, Allie, and Dr. Stewart, and working with my wonderful fellow graduate assistants. And it really gave me a great perspective on public service. And at the same time, that semester, I took public policy with Dr. Nallen, and urban planning with Dr. Rivet, and it really helped me learn a lot about like policy theories and planning history and that practices that go with that. It made me feel like a lot more prepared to be a planner. And with that, the next semester I took GIS with Rivet, and I took capstone with Nowlin, and it was a really nice way to sort of like close things out in that final semester. But one big experience that really sort of helped confirm what I wanted to do was my internship with the town of Mount Pleasant in their planning department. And it just, seeing those people in that environment really inspired me to sort of follow this path for sure. And with that, I've recently accepted a position at the city of North Charleston in their planning and zoning department. I think it's just really exciting, kind of like the path that this program has taken me. And with that, essentially, to summarize, like, I don't know, it's just been an interesting 2 years. But I know that I'm just really excited about getting into public service. I think planning is a really interesting side of things, and I'm really excited to dive into that in May. And with that, thank you to faculty, staff, peers, who made these 2 years wonderful. Yeah.